Welcome to the Retiring Club. My name is John, and I will be your host of this meeting. In this meeting of the Retiring Club, I'm going to cover how to replace your income once you retire or if you get early termination. I'm going to go over how, over the years, while I was planning for retirement, I was looking to have money available in case I went into early retirement or I got terminated. And I think this is going to be a good video to watch. And I'm going to get ready to jump right into it. So, one of the biggest things with me now that I retired from a financial institution as far as September 26th is I don't receive any more paychecks. The month of October, I got enough to cover my mortgage, and I got a whole week's worth of pay in on the 15th of the month. And I had a vacation that I paid for already, and I was able to take that and I came back, and now I have to go ahead and finance the household income, mortgage, and etc. for the month of November as well as the month of December. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you on my journey of my process, and I'm going to explain everything how during the time that I was working and investing and getting closer and closer to retirement, I kept one thing in mind: job loss. Job loss would upset everything, but with proper planning, your retirement plan can be converted over and used for early termination, where you don't have to be bothered with going back to work. You could just retire early, pay all your expenses, and let the months and years go by until you reach full retirement age, or you hit the 55 mark where you can use your 401k, or you go ahead and hit 59 and a half, 62, 65, 67, or whatever. I'm just going to go through my steps and show it to you, because if you're still working, everybody's head is on the chopping block. These companies like the Magnificent Seven are all racing to eliminate as many workers as possible, because the artificial intelligence and robotics, they just need air conditioning, electricity, and lots of mass storage and internet service. And you get a lot more than that as a worker. So, my name is John. I am the host of Retiring Club, and you're at Elton's Retirement Journey and Travel. So, I'm going to get ready to bring up my presentation. Thank you. Okay, folks, if we take a look at this here, the number one objective for me is replacing the monthly income permanently. And so, what I've done is, over the years, as I managed my own portfolio, I went ahead and skimmed some of the gains off of the, the mutual funds as they reached their all-time high. I started that in August, I believe, of 2021, and I accumulated $12,400. This is all from the gains. I've already sold the shares. It was done a first in, first out. So this setup is cash. I received my last dividend from the 12,439.91. We won't be seeing that until I rebuild that up. And my little part-time job got a dividend. So what we're going to do is I have compartmentalized my investments into the Federal Reserve of John. So what we've done here is, since I don't have any more income, I don't have a job, I have to finance the payroll. So I established this setup here where I can pull money and move it into the high yield savings account. So this pre-tax money came out of SPAXX. It was Fidelity. It was $12,400, and that should let me not have to pay too much taxes on it. I didn't finish out the rest of the year, so my income probably was below about 30,000. Taxes have already been taken out, and I'm estimating that the standard deduction will keep me from having to pay a whole lot of money. But I'm going to continue to show you what I'm doing here. So it goes into the high yield savings account. As it's in there, it's going to earn some income, and it will be set up as the cash box. Now, I'm not paying off my mortgage. there's more than enough income for me to continue to carry that mortgage and pay an extra $100 per month for the next year. So the money's going to go into the cash box. In this cash box, the mortgage payment, as well as the HOA fee, is automatically set up to reoccur and start pulling out of there for the next couple months, as well as into the next year. So on the surface, I won't be having to be bothered with a mortgage. It's all set up automatically. I've also structured it so that at the middle of the month, the expenses that I need to cover the utilities, cable, um, the foods and stuff like that, and other incidentals, will automatically deposit into my checking account just enough amount to cover those expenses with a little bit of surplus, just as if I was getting paid from my full-time job. The only difference now is the $500 that I was shooting off as a to my money market. I don't do that anymore. That stops, as well as 401k contribution. That all comes to an end. So I just need $1,600, and I budgeted for 3,200. So that is it on that. That is how I'm going to do it. I've been working on this for well over 5 years, just in case I retired early, um, or I got fired, or if I needed to bridge. Originally, I started off with the plan to go all the way up to 67 and then bridge to 70. But there's just too many people going into the fire movement where the payroll contributions are going down, down, down. People, once you retire and you quit your job, you don't pay federal income tax, you don't pay FICA. This withdrawal, I may wind up owing some state taxes, but that's going to end after 14 months. So this is how I've got it set up. It is a good structure for someone to build, because if you structure it like this and all of a sudden you need to start using this, you're already set up. You got the fixed income and you're not selling in a down market. This money's always going to be, this is principle is set up at the Federal Reserve of John. So I'm going to come back and we're going to look at a little spreadsheet on what I'm going to use with that 12,400 the remainder of the year. And I'll be right. Okay, folks. So this is where that 12,400. This is the working capital finish off 2025. So my budget is $1,600, including the mortgage and all expenses that I need. It does not include walking around money, although there is maybe $100 in there somewhere. I got a vacation that I'm planning with Gate One next year. I'm going to go ahead and pay that off. I've already paid off some the deposit, as well as once they credit the survey that I completed, I will go ahead and wire them the balance, and they'll give me a discount of 5% off that tour. So I'll be headed back to Europe next year sometime. Um, I have went and got a seen a dermatologist like Buzz and Sarasota Tim had did, because I knew I was going to be quitting my job, and I still had the insurance, and I was bumping up to the deductible amount, and they said that it doesn't matter if you have any insurance, which I will. I'll do that in another segment. um, and there's some moles that I would like to have removed. When I was out in the pool area and I was filming with the Android phone, I could see a lot of moles on my face. Those can be removed, as well as anything else on the body. I think they removed 15 for $150. I'm budgeting 300. I'll book that. They like to do it in the winter time when you're not exposed to the sun. All right, so we're going to jump down. We're looking at $5,000 in a healthcare safe harbor fund. So that will help with any deductibles and things like that, or any expenses. And then I've got $1,000 I'm going to set aside for taxes. If I don't use any of this money, I will leave it there. That $5,000 safe harbor is going to be helpful um, in about let's see 15 no it'll be about 16 months before I go on Medicare. So I've got to 2026 must be my healthiest year. If the ACA is abolished or it's the premiums are too much, I will be using urgent care, and I'm gonna just have to foot the bill for all of the fees in case if I go to my regular doctor, he's gonna order all these tests. I've been through this before with LabCorp. Without any insurance, you're gonna get $1,000, $2,000 bill, and I'm not going through that. Some of the routine exams, we're going to skip those for next year. There won't be any physical. The ophthalmologist, I won't see him. The cardiologist, I definitely won't go see them. We'll just have to make do in 2026 just in case. But any emergency health care will probably be wind up using urgent care. So that is it. That's what we're doing with that $12,400. I am trying to get that in under the standard deductions this year. I know I'm going to owe some taxes. I don't mind owing a little bit of taxes because I will be skirting the standard deduction and owing a little bit of taxes in the year until I turned 65. In the year 2027, the Trump standard deduction is so high that I should be able to get in all of my Medicare expenses as well as my expenses here. And plus, I get help with a pension that will kick in. Okay. So this is John, and you are meeting with me over at the Retiring Club. I'm just showing you how I'm managing with the loss of a W 2 income from a 40-hour paycheck, and I'm using it in the fire movement. But had I got fired, this is what I'm doing right here and right now. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe and likes. If you have any comments or questions, please go ahead and leave them with me. I'll be more than happy to take a look at them. Thank you.